evening, and welcome to today's podcast. This is a special podcast which is for my digital media for instructional technology and distance education course at Nova Southeastern University. Thank you for joining me. Today's lesson is on codecs. What is a codex? Well, codex is a technical name that may sound somewhat familiar, yet hard to visualize where from, and maybe even harder to explain. It's a computer program that allows users to watch videos and listen to music over their digital devices. Without codecs programs, we would be unable to transfer files to MP3 players or iPods, or unable to download movies to our Kindles or iPads. So what is a codecs program? A codecs is a software that is used to compress or decompress a digital media file, such as a song or a video. The program consists of two components which are essential to the functionality of the program, an encoder and a decoder. The encoder compresses the file so that it can be transferred, while the decoder performs the decompression. The term codecs itself stands for coder-decoder, some say compressor-decompressor, and is used to describe anything which turns data into another form for storage or transmission, then changes it back for use. These components usually both come in the same program, but don't necessarily have to. So we know that codecs are important for listening to music and watching video on our devices, but why? This type of program is important because when you rip a song from an audio CD to your computer, the player uses the Windows Media Audio Codecs by default to compress the song into a compact WMA file. When you play that WMA file, or any music file that might be streamed from a website, the player uses the Windows Media Audio Codecs to decompress the file so the music can be played through your speakers. We need these programs because audio and video files are so large that it can take hours for them to transfer or download. To move files across the internet quickly and speed up downloads, we need to use codecs to shrink the size of the file for transmission and then decode it when we are ready to listen or view the file. There are codecs for audio and video compression, for streaming media over the internet, video conferencing, playing MP3s, speech, or screen capture. So what would the digital world be without codecs programs? I guess you can compare it to the old days of trying to download with dial-up. Pictures would appear slowly, bits and pieces at a time, and video and music would take hours. So now that we're using codecs on a daily basis, what are some of the more common codecs we use with digital media? If you ever used or opened an MP3 file, a WMA, real video, etc., you've used a codecs. They are very important to the idea of digital media because without it, we would struggle to watch, listen, or broadcast all of the vast amount of valuable information that we have collected and would like to distribute. While the idea of uploading and downloading music and files onto your personal devices seems new, the act of compressing data for transferring is not. In the middle of the 20th century, a codecs was hardware that coded analog signals into postcode modulation and then decoded them back. Later on in the century, the name came to be applied to a class of software for converting among digital signal formats. That's all the time I have, and thank you for listening. Remember, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably using codecs.